Hello guys, my name is Khan, and in today's video I will show you guys that how you can insert rows with the help of VBA, and how you can insert columns with the help of VBA. And then in the next part of my video I will be showing that how you can delete the rows which are redundant and which you don't want, and how you can delete the columns which you don't want. Again, this thing I will try to teach you with the help of VBA. But before going further, what does it mean by inserting a column? So suppose if this is the data that you have and you want another column between serial number and marks. So for that you have to insert a column. One of the manual ways is that you select the column B, right click it, and then you can say insert. And suppose if you want multiple columns, then what you can do is to select multiple columns and then right click it and insert. And then you can say that it have inserted the two columns because we have selected two columns. But I will undo these changes because I will try to do these changes with the help of VBA. And now I will show you guys that how you can insert a row manually in Excel. Is that suppose if you want to insert only one row, you can select that row, insert it, and you can see that one row got inserted. And in the same way, suppose if you want multiple rows, you can select multiple rows. Suppose if I want 3 rows to be inserted, and then I will say right click and insert. And this way you can say that 3 rows got inserted because I have selected 3 rows. Again, I will control undo it. And now I will show you guys first that how you can insert rows and columns with the help of VBA. So in order to do that, first I'm already in my developer tab. I will go to Visual Basic, and this is the workbook I'm working on. It's already a macro enabled workbook because I have already saved it as macro enabled workbook. That's why it's saved as book1.xlsm. And now I can start writing my macro. So the first macro I will write down. As for that, I will be inserting a module, and I will be saying sub. So as you know, anytime you want to write a macro, you have to start with sub, and then I will be saying insert underscore column. So this module is related, my module 1 is related to how you can insert a column. So, and then I will be saying enter, and now I can start writing my macro. So suppose if I want only one column to be inserted between A and B, in order to do that, what I will be doing is that I will be writing with range. Then I will be saying insert the column. So I want the column at B, so therefore I will be writing down B to B because I just want one column. So that's why I'm writing down just B to B. And then I'm saying dot insert. And now let's see if I execute it. You can see that there is one column got inserted here. But suppose I want 2 columns here to be inserted. So in that case, what I will be doing is that instead of B to B, I will just change it to B to C. So let's see if I do it now. You can see that 2 columns got added here. In the same way, you can increase this ratio from B to C or B to D, whatever you want. And even you can change this B reference to according to your need. Now what I will doing, I will be inserting another module to create a macro related to how to insert rows. So I will be right clicking it, insert module, and now I can start writing down my next macro, which is to delete, to insert the rows. So as you can see that my serial number is starting from 4. So just as a hypothetical, maybe you missed first 3 serial numbers and you want to insert rows here first, then enter number here. So in order to insert rows, what you will be doing is that again I will be writing down my sub, and then I will be saying insert rows. And now I will write down my macro, which will be insert, and then saying first I have to select the range. So suppose if I want to insert one row, so I at row number 2, so I'll be saying range, then 2 to 2, because I just want one row, and then I will be saying dot insert. Now let's see if I execute it. You can see that one row got added in my at place of row number 2. But suppose I want 2 further rows. So in order to do that, I will be saying insert rows from 2 to 3. So what I will be writing it, so instead I will change it like 2 to 3. So I have already one empty row here. So when after executing this code macro now, it will add 2 rows at the place of 2 to 3, and you can say execute. And in the same way you can increase. So suppose if you want more rows, 4 or 5, so you can say that add 4. So suppose I want to add 2 rows, 2 rows at the row number 8. So I will be saying row number 8 and then 9, or maybe 3 rows, then you will be saying 10. Let's say if I do it, and you can see 3 rows got added here, reference to the row number 8. So in this way you can add different rows into the cells. But the important thing to note here is that I have selected this insert sheet already. That's why my macros are running on the selected sheet I am working on. But suppose if you haven't selected that sheet, then you have to specify that which worksheets you want to apply the changes. Then you will be probably writing down worksheet, then name of the worksheet, then dot select. This thing I will show you in my next module. So now I will go to my next sheet, which is related to delete. So here you can see that I have extra columns here, extra rows here that I want to delete with the help of VBA. And now what I will be doing is that I will be writing my new macro again, or I can start writing down within this module my next macro. Again, I will be writing down sub, and then I will be saying delete columns, or delete rows first, and then I will be saying this and sub. And now I want to delete rows first, but the sheet on which I want to delete is from this delete sheet. And suppose if I want to delete just this first row, so what I can do is that one of the ways is that I will be selecting any cell, and then I will refer that cell within the range, and then I will be saying it deleted. So how to do it? I'll be saying range B2. You can specify any column, but the row will remain same because I want to delete the second row. So we're saying B2, you can write down C2, D2, whatever you want, but the row number will be remain same because you want to delete the second row. Then I will be saying entire row, then I will be saying dot delete. But the important thing to note here is that currently I have selected this delete sheet. So therefore I don't need to specify which worksheet. And if I execute this macro, you can see that my rows get deleted. But suppose if I select my insert sheet now, and if I select that thing and I will highlight it, and now if I execute my code, you will be able to see that my row number 2 will get deleted from insert sheet. As you can see, that row got deleted from the insert sheet because I have selected this sheet, or you can say that I was in the view of my insert sheet. But suppose you have selected insert sheet and you want to apply those changes that are here on delete sheet. So in order to do that, and you don't want that changes got applied based on the sheet that I have selected, then you just simply write down here work sheet, and then specify the sheet name, which in this case is delete. Make sure that you spell it rightly. And now let's say if I also highlight this row, you can see that it will get deleted. Let's execute it. Sorry, worksheets.delete.select, and now I can execute it. And now you can see in the delete sheet that row got deleted. In the same way, if you want to delete multiple rows, you will simply call it from, suppose if I want to delete B2 to B3, I will be saying B2 to B3 and say entire row delete. Let's see if I execute it, what it will do. You can see now there is no extra space, extra row that I have. In the same way, I can also delete the columns. So in order to delete the columns, so I will just comment it out because I don't need this, or I can create another macro. So what I will be doing, I will be selecting it, copying it, pasting it here, and now I'm creating a macro related to delete columns. So again, I'm specifying the sheet. I'm setting delete sheet. This line will allow you that you don't need to manually select your sheet before executing it. It will automatically select the sheet. Otherwise, it will first you have to manually select the sheet over which you want to apply this macro. So that's why it's important that you select the sheet first. And then now what I will be doing is, instead of rows, I will be deleting columns. So first I will also change my rows. So suppose the first column I want to delete this column. What I will be doing is then I have highlighted it so that you guys are able to see that once it get deleted. So I will be selecting any cell within the column B, which is suppose B3, and then close dot entire column dot delete. So now if I execute it, you will be able to see this column will get deleted, as you can see now. And in the same way, you can also delete multiple columns too. So suppose if I want to delete B to D columns, I will be saying B3 to D3. Make sure that you specify the same row, otherwise you may get an error. B3 to D3. Now let's see if I execute it now. You can see all those 3 columns got deleted, and now my data looks like this. There is another way of deleting. So this is the way we have inserted the rows. Sorry, deleted the columns. And now I will show you guys another way, another thing in this video too. So in overall, we discussed how you insert rows with the help of VBA, and how you can delete columns with the help of VBA again. And then we also discussed that how you can insert columns, delete columns. Now the last thing that I would like to discuss is that how you can increase the column width. So suppose if you have, I have written down this VBA videos are here, but you can see that this part of my line is exceeding the column width. How can you manage the column width with the help of VBA? The manual way is that you select your column, then you go to formats, and then there is an option column width, and you specify the column width here. So suppose 25. Okay. So, but I will show you guys that how you can apply this thing with the help of VBA. Suppose if I want to change it here, and now I want to do it, change the column width with the help of VBA, how I can do that. So in order to do that, I will go back to my VBA, and I will start writing down my code, my macro, which will be this case sub column call width. You can name it whatever you want, and cross. Now I can start writing down my another macro which allow me to increase my column width. In order to do that, what I will be specifying is that first I will be specifying the columns. So in order to specify the column, I'll be referring to any cell within this column. So suppose if I'm saying range, you can specify A1, A2, whatever you want, but the column name remains same, which is A1 or suppose A2, and then I'm saying column width, is equal to suppose 25. Let's see if I execute it. But here the point is that I have selected the sheet 3. That's why the my changes got applied to sheet 3. But suppose if I selected the sheet, delete sheet, and now if I apply this thing, you can see that my column of my delete sheet got changed. So sometimes it may become annoying. So I will recommend always specify the worksheet. So I will just copy the exact previous code, paste it here, and then I will change the sheet name, which is sheet 3 now. And now let's say even suppose if I reduce the column width, so now I have changed the column width of sheet 3, and now let's see if I execute it. You can see that even I have selected delete sheet, my changes will be applied to sheet 3. Now as you can see now. Now the other thing is that there is another way of changing the column width. Is the syntax is very similar. So I will just comment out this thing, and I will show that in order to change the column width, you can use another way, which is this range. And now what I will be specifying is, so first I will be selecting columns dot, then columns width is equal to. So these are the two ways you can, based on which you can vary the column width. Now let's say 30, and now I have changed. So suppose if I change it to here, and now if I apply this, you can see that this syntax will also work to change the column width. As you can see it here, the column width get changed, or you can say column width get increased. So in this video we have discussed how you can insert rows, how you can insert columns, then we have discussed how you can delete rows and how you can delete columns with the help of VBA, and in the end we also discussed how you can change the column width with the help of VBA macros. Thank you for watching the video.